What's going on, gang? Welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of Project MADHOG, aka Chuck Bagger. I'll catch you guys up real quick to the progress that I have made on the scoop today. Didn't really do a whole lot today. Today is Sunday. I spent most of my day working on that car right there. My nephew's 1990 Volkswagen Jetta MK2 edition with the Recaro seats in it. But anyway, so yeah, I wasted most of my day on this, and I came in for about an hour and made a little progress on here. Okay guys, as you can see, I cut the mounts for the that held the gas tank clean up out of there. So, but I reused the back ones. I rewelded them. Rewelded one here. It used to sit about right here, and this front one used to sit right about there. Now you see how some other mounts going on. That is for our floorboard. So yes, our tank will not fit in here now in its original position because everything has been changed up. All right guys, well, I'm not going to be able to use this tank, so I'm gonna have to figure another tank situation out, but the tank will still sit here in the middle. So like I said, it's easier for me to relocate the battery than it is for me to relocate the gas tank. Well, in this case, I'm gonna have to just keep the gas tank in the same location, plus go ahead and fabricate a new tank or find some off the shelf, something that'll work for me. Okay gang, so I got my floorboard mounts all welded in as I just showed you. So now I can mount the floorboard in, if I can get it in there. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see, but here we have the one hole there that lines up, and my one up front here that lines up. I don't think you guys can see that, but yeah, the floorboard lines up now. It can bolt down, and you can see it's at the right height that I want it, because before it would be way up here. So everything is where I want it now. And this is that top mount that I did for the leg shield. Now this is the other leg shield, the one I'm going to use. Now I did think this thing was completely perfect, but when I pulled it off the old parts bag, I do see, come on, sit up there, we do have a chip right there. I'm not really worried about it. It's on the inside. You know, I can easily cover that with something and fix it, so no big deal. Yeah, the mount for the leg shield from the inside is right here. It came from right here. So at first, in the first video, I said I would have to move it up, but I ended up actually, well, I said I had to move it down, and actually ended up having to move it up. So okay, let me go ahead and bolt all this on, and you guys can see where it looks. Now I know in the thumbnail you guys kind of seen the leg shield and all of this triple tree kind of sitting out looking awkward. Well, with all of that bolted in, it doesn't look bad anymore. So let me get this bolted on. I'll show you guys real quick. All right guys, got the floorboard mounted. I'm gonna bolt it down. Got all the bolts in. Leg shield mounted up tight. Now what I was talking about was that in the I don't know, the little picture you see when you click on the video, the thumbnail. In the thumbnail picture, you know, this was kind of the top of the triple tree was like way out here. That's because this wasn't bolted down in the thumbnail picture. So as you guys can see, yeah, it is fitting in there much tighter, much closer. So yeah, that's all done now. So I'm going to move on next to probably extending the top of the triple tree here. The stem needs to be about maybe 2 inches longer. And like I was telling you guys, I probably can't find it now, but I do have another triple tree. It was over here by the Yamaha, and oh, there it's behind me. Okay, now like I was saying, I was thinking about just go ahead and cutting this off, because this is about the length that I need, and welded it on top here, or taking this handlebar that actually came with this triple tree that came off of this PCC bike. And maybe just cutting that off and right at the top, because see if I can get it up here with one hand. If I put that in there like so, well, it's not going to go down because of this metal here, but if I put that on there and it runs down to all the way where it should sit, I should have maybe a little bit on the top. I don't think so, probably not now that I'm looking at it. So yeah, that's not going to work. All right, so back to plan one, no plan A. Go ahead and just cut this sucker off right here at the threads and weld it to the top of the stem here. Got to make sure I get it on there good and straight. That way we can fit our handlebar mount here on top. And you see it'll bolt right in because it has the hole for it and everything for it to bolt in. So yeah, that's what we're going to work on next, guys. I'm going to go ahead and just lop this sucker off, get that welded on, and then I need to figure out which headlight and signal light assembly I'm going to use. Either I'm going to use these here, which I kind of like. I'm probably going to have to order them because I do have another set, but those ugly orange ones. I kind of want like the lights that I have off of the Yamaha, the Vino. Yeah, the Vino, the little two-stroke that we did on the channel. With the chrome lights. Now I do have a light system that's like the one that was on the Vino, the Metropolitan looking light that goes on the front, and I also have the one that came off of the Vino over there on the shelf somewhere. I got everything already pushed over, guys, because I'm pretty much probably gonna call it a day. All right, let me grab that and I'll show you real quick. Okay, gang, got the light panel off the Yamaha Vino on this bike, and it fits. I wouldn't say pretty good, but I can make it work. Now this leg shield here is kind of dried up a little bit. The sun did some funky things with it, man. That hot Vegas heat has kind of drawn it up in areas. Like you can see it here, it's a little off, but it fits over here. So now the remedy for that is to take my heat gun while everything is kind of bolted together and heat this side up and just kind of, you know, once Dawn want to make this thing liquid, so just heat it up enough to where I can get it soft and mend and then cool it down right when I get it to line up. So no big deal, dealt with this before. So yeah, guys, that's why I keep all old parts, because I didn't like that light on the Vino, but I'm thinking on this bike it's really going to work. Can't get back far enough. There we go. Yeah, I'm digging that. You know, I'm still thinking about the color scheme of the bike. I was thinking about going blue or just murdering this whole thing out black. Just a nice gloss shiny black. Don't know yet, still out the air. We're just gonna finish our fabrication. Now as far as our triple tree is concerned, I'm going to fabricate me a nice triple tree brace out of aluminum, something just to clean this up. You know, it kind of looks ugly, so since I have all these mounting points here, these two, and this one here in a nice even plane with each other, I'm thinking I'm going to just make some type of nice plate, give me some aluminum and cut out a nice shape to make this look a little bit better, man. Might just square it all up, you know, might just square it all up straight across, or have it with some kind of curve around, triangle it. I don't know. We'll get to that point when we get to it. Yep, and we also gotta lower this sucker down, so I'm gonna have to pull out these springs in here, and I'm gonna go grab me some Chevy valve springs out the junkyard and stack them suckers until I get enough height. But I have to be careful that I don't let it get too close here. I think I can lower it down, because as I get lower it will get closer, I think. But yeah, we're gonna lower the front. Now I am going to make an admission. I screwed up on the motor mount. This thing should not be angled down like this. It should be straight across. So I'm gonna have to bust that mount here back a loose, straighten this mount up, which is going to bring the engine up in the front, and then that way I can get a smaller shock in the back to level everything out, and that'll drop the whole ass in. This thing won't be sitting up like a 4x4 monster truck, you know. But look at that, my whole impact can sit right up under this. It's too high. So I do want a little bit of a rake now. I don't want to bring the front end down too low, and I don't, well, the back, there's no such thing as too low. Now for the back, reason I am going to get some 4-inch bag extensions. So I kind of want the bags to be close to the ground, you know, with a little bit of rake, not too much. But I don't know, guys, this thing here is coming together and I like it. I love it. I want some more of it, you feel me? So all right, I'm gonna work on this thing during the week a little bit at a time, and I'll tune you guys in as I go. Okay guys, it is Thanksgiving morning. I actually come out the shed to do a little cleaning. You see the shelf is gone and the Yamaha is sitting outside. I had to make a little bit more room in here, man. It's perfect now. I can walk all the way around this sucker without having to dodge anything. Keep hitting my back on that corner right there. Do that a couple times and you can make a change. All right guys, check it out. Got the gas tank, the MADHOG gas tank on and mocked up. I drilled some holes in it because these holes don't line up no more. But now on hindsight, I probably could have did like I did the back, but oh well. I just thought about that actually at this moment. That's what I could have did. But all right guys, now you see the tank has been dented in. Had to do a little clearancing for the floorboard. Had to do a little clearancing for that bar there. Had to take a socket and bang it with my old mallet here. Did a little clearancing on the back of the tank too. Now I was going to just go ahead and build a whole tank from scratch. I mean, I went ahead and went online and found all the little bungs and everything for the gas cap and the fuel nozzle, neck, whatever you call it. And just for those two pieces right there, man, we're looking at like 40 bucks. That's not even including the metal. So I'm thinking to build a gas tank, I probably would have been right around about 60-70 bucks. But I already had this gas tank, so I'd rather beat this sucker up because a little ding, that's not gonna do nothing. Now these holes here are kind of close to the where these things were welded together. I don't think it's going to leak. We'll check it out when we get ready to install it. They're a little close, but they're like right on the edge of it, so I think it's going to be fine. Like I say, we'll test it at that moment. But all right guys, check it out. Now for the back mount holes here, I went ahead and put an exhaust nut right there, put it inside, and tack welded them on. Now you saw these mounts here already. Those are the mounts for the floorboard. So now our floorboard is going to be able to get that wire there, go straight through the gas tank and mount them there. And we're going to have these mounts back here. I took my old mallet and bent the edge of this flange down. Just beat the heck out of that sucker till I got it to lay down. But yeah, guys, hey, I ain't mad at it. It looks like it's going to work. The floorboard sits the way I want it to, and it still bolts in, so I'm happy with it. Now my gas tank is going to sit a little higher with my cap, so I'm thinking maybe for this cover here, maybe I'm just going to make the rectangle piece or try to find an actual battery cover for this floorboard and just cut just the hole out, put it in, and just, you know, bolt it down, screw it down however it is, and just leave it there. You know, just have me on probably a nice little cap, one of those crown caps or something that go on top, and just call that that, you know. We ain't got to get too technical around here with this. But yeah guys, I just came in here to actually just clean up the shop, man. I needed more room, and you know how it is. You get around stuff and you touch one thing. I just wanted to see if I could do the gas tank, and ended up doing it. So I don't know guys, it works. It sits in there pretty good. It sits the way it was sitting before, so I'm gonna throw this back together real quick and we're gonna give it a look. All right guys, excuse the mess because I am still cleaning up. But all right, floorboard is back on, securely mounted with the leg shield. I went ahead and switched out the leg shield. I don't know if I said it in a previous clip or not, but here's the leg shield that we're going to use. I think I did say this because I think I showed you guys a chip over there that's missing that we're going to have to fix. It's not perfect, but I can work with it. So yep, securely mounted, guys, and looking good, looking good. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the same headlight bezel as the Yamaha. You have the old Yamaha sitting right over there. So we're going to use the same headlight bezel as the Yamaha. Now this one is broken. I'm going to try to find one online because the mounts are broken, but if I have to, I'll fix it for now and put it on so we can wrap this thing up. But I'm going to go ahead and try to find one. I did find one a couple of years ago when I was looking up Schwinn scooters, but can't find them now, man. I mean, I don't understand that. You find a website one day, you go back to look for it a couple months later, and it's gone. So I don't know. We'll check it out. But all right, guys, I think the next thing we're going to work on is what? I just had it in my head. Maybe, yeah, the handlebar. So the handlebar mount, like I said, we're gonna have to cut the triple tree. Let me take this piece off. Yeah. See, guys, that thing is all busted up. Mounts are broken. You know, got that one and one screw hole on the same side. That side is chipped. I can fix it, but I don't know. Now I was going to put the headlight bezel off the Yamaha. I just don't like the look, you know. It kind of sits a little funny to me. I don't like that whole headlight deal there. I don't know. Don't like it. It didn't groove with me. But I was thinking like, oh, okay. Well, one reason it didn't groove too is the holes for the signal lights. The bar comes out the side. And I remembered I had this one. Same style from a Chinese knockoff, and it doesn't have it, but as you can see, I dropped and broke it. I put up there, said, oh, I like that, and then next thing you know, it was on the ground. So yeah, I'm gonna scratch that one off the old things to do. Now the ignition mount. Now that's the MADHOG ignition mount, and it's a little, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's not gonna fit. It's too wide, too thick. So I'm probably gonna have to take this, bust this off of here, cut it off, and trim it up, make it flatter, or just get another parts bike or one of the parts bike and just try to trim and make that fit so the ignition can sit in its original place and line up. So, but after that, I think this weekend, because I'm going to stop here for the day and go and get cleaned up and get ready for the old Thanksgiving dinner. I think this weekend we're going to work on the stance. We need to work on this bar for the motor mount. It needs to be straight, not like the way I put it. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, that's why this thing is sitting like a monster truck. And then we're going to go ahead and lower this sucker down in the front and try to get our stance right. And guys, I'm so close to finishing this thing right now. I mean, the major part is going to be probably a major pain for me is fabricating the panel that goes across the back here. Now I'm gonna have to put some L brackets in here to hold that panel, and it's going to sit right there. But I'm thinking that's probably going to be the most painful part of this because I hate doing fiberglass and bodywork. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to trim all of this metal here off. I'm gonna wait to see, but I do have one of those extended MADHOG seats that come all the way back to here, so I'm not going to have to worry about trying to cover this space in here because the seat that I have is going to come all the way to here. So I'm thinking maybe just trim this metal off, or I could use this metal. I don't know. So we'll cross that bridge when we pass it. But yeah, guys, this thing is coming together. I mean, the stance is sitting high, but the whole theme of the bike, I'm starting to dig it. Where I put the headlight bezel so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Stick this sucker back on real quick. There we go. Man, just look at that. That is starting to look the way I want it to look. Yeah, it's sitting high, but we're gonna bring this altitude down on this thing, bring it down. Now I am going to get the some 4-inch bag extensions. So when we bring this sucker down, like I say, I want it to be low, you know, not too low where we can't turn the bags rub, but I want the thing to sit low. So alright guys, I'm gonna go get cleaned up for Turkey Day, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. Okay guys, it's been a hot minute since I've been in here. 'Tis be the season is the reason. I'm gonna come in here and catch you guys up on some progress that I've made on the scoop. It's kind of tight in here right now. I removed the shelf that was over there to make more room, but I started working on the bike yesterday. It started raining, and I hightailed it out of here, pushed everything back in here. But I'm tuning in with you guys real quick to see some progress. Okay, the last thing we did was the gas tank. We fitted it in, got it back in so we can mount the floorboard on. Okay, so that's done. And I went ahead and started yesterday on the triple tree. Now we had to extend it so we can get this clamp on. Okay, so I'm gonna take these other 2 magnets off. Well, what I did was I cut this old triple tree that I had. This one is off of VIP. It was broken, twisted. It's untwisted on that side. It's the purple one that was on the beginning of the channel, the first scoot of the channel, matter of fact. So yeah, I kept that old triple tree and I cut the neck off of that, trimmed it down to size, and used, as you saw, used my magnets. I have 4 of these, put them around, lined it up, and right now I just got it tack welded in. Just a little tack right now because I got to make sure the alignment is good for front, you know, so it's not cockeyed or anything. But all right guys, just loosely bolted up my my handlebar clamp. Now, I took these handlebars here, these little baby ape hangers, off my MADHOG. Look at it from this other side. Now I'm not going to be using these, but I just want to stick them up there and kind of, you know, get the visualization. Definitely not using these because look at that. Somebody cut and extended the bar. Don't know for what, but they extended the bar, and if they did it on that side, they probably did it on this side. So I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, I'm kind of like just digging, trying to get step back far enough so you guys can see the whole thing. But yeah, I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. Now, I've looked all over for a headlight bezel, because the only one I have is broken. This is it here. It's just like the one I put on the Yamaha, but this is the only other one I have is broken. I've reached out to everybody I can think of. I mean, I even looked it up. I found these things online a couple years ago. Website must be defunct now. It's gone. I can't find it. So if anybody got a headlight bezel for a knockoff Honda Metropolitan, let me know. I am very interested in one. So all right, the mounting tabs for the top that bolt here and the ones down here are broken. So for the top one, what I did, I kind of took this matchbook, cut it up, used my glue gun over here, and dammed it on the back, boxed this thing in. So I'm gonna take my plastic bonder and fill up the cavities in here and drill and tap holes in it so I can screw it from the top. Now for these mounts here, right here, that bolts in to right there, I have an idea. I have these JDM little finish washers, those password JDM. So thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a hole all the way through to the other side here, drill a hole through, and put the dress washers on the outside, and find me a piece of all thread I can run all the way through and come out here, and I'll just use a little nut on the back side. You know, I like a little finished nut. Got the little dome on it, so you know it won't look so janky. But all right guys, that's what I got going on. I just wanted to tap in real quick, do a little quick clip for this video. This video is taking forever to get done because tis is the season and I am busy as heck. So all right guys, I'll tune you back in and show you how everything came out. Okay gang, tune you in real quick. All right, now I went ahead and fully welded on the triple tree extension, and I went ahead and got a piece of rod to shove all the way down in it, and I'm going to weld that rod in. Now this triple tree here from the PCC scooter had notches on both sides. Well, it has notches on both sides, and I was going to plug weld them up, but I decided, you know what, I want to go ahead and run a rod down through there. So the old notch that I had in there to hold the handlebar in the correct position, you can see the bars ran all the way there, hopefully. And I went ahead and drilled a hole all the way through that rod, so just to add a little bit of strength to this thing. So what I'm going to do now is weld it around, weld up these plug welded in here on this side so to attach the bar, and plug weld that sucker there. So, you know, just give it a little bit of extra strength and rigidity, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to have a buck pucker moment because my glorious whales broke, all pun intended, and definitely don't want to die riding this thing. So alright guys, here's the rod I used. It was a 9/16 rod, and as you can see, it fits in there perfectly, and this thing was expensive, like 30 bucks from Lowe's. And I went ahead and cut off the mounts that attached the MADHOG battery box to the front. Go ahead and just cut that off, and I cut off the key mount, the ignition mount, because it was just too far, you know, stuck too far out, so the ignition wouldn't line up with the hole for the ignition in the plastic. So I'm just going to have to trim this down a little bit, or maybe go with a whole different type of mount. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out when we get to that point. Okay guys, but I'm gonna go ahead and weld this all in, and then got something special, so stay tuned. Okay, got it all welded in, plug welded. I'll be the first one to admit that it is not pretty, but that ain't going nowhere. That's what you gotta do. You slap it like the old guys used to do and say it ain't going nowhere, and it won't. But if it do, it ain't my fault. So all right guys, well, we had the I guess these are bicycle ape hangers that somebody wasn't me, because I ain't the best, but I could make it look better than that. But somebody cut and extended because they were bicycle handlebars, and it just wasn't long enough on the ends. Like I said, I assume it's probably welded under there too. You can see a light spot through this glittered out handle grip. It's pretty neat. I wish I knew where they got them from, but all right guys, well, we got something different. Check this out. All right, now I went on the old offer up and I found something unique and new. Check that out. Got a set of 14-inch ape hangers. I forgot what the guy said what brand they were, but hey dude, you just subscribed the other day, so chime in, let us all know what brand of these ape hangers are. Now these are kind of scratched up a little bit, so I'm going to strip them and have them repowder coated, but they're probably gonna be black. So check that out. I mean, that is tight. I like it. It's not too tall. I was thinking 14 inches was going to be too tall, and I probably had plans before I even got them and tried them, maybe just, you know, cut it out, shrink them down about 4 inches so they can be about the same size as these. I think with 10 inches, I hadn't measured them, but 10 or 8 inches tall. But I like that. I'm not cutting them. I'm gonna leave them just the way they are. They're just fine. Okay gang, now said I had something special to show you. Now back on offer up again. Check that out. I got a tour pack for this sucker. Now I've been looking for a tour pack since before the build began, and these things are expensive, but I did my due diligence. I kept looking, and I found this sucker on offer up for 75 bucks. Check out the little flame paint job on it, paint striping. Now I'm thinking, guys, I didn't want to paint the bike black. I wanted to go with like a lime green, something that was going to pop, but I can't bring myself to just paint over that, sand that off. I mean, that looks great. So I'm thinking we paint these gray bags. These are like a gunmetal, dark gunmetal gray, and paint these suckers black. And find us a pinstripe guy that can mimic that, you know. All right, that's not the only thing, guys. Let me jack this sucker up in the air real quick and I'll show you. All right, guys, don't know if you can see it, but check it out. Get a little closer. I got some bag extensions on this bad boy. 4-inch bag extensions. Got them off Amazon for like $56, $59, something like that. I don't remember. But check it out. Look at that. Let me push the bike forward a little bit. Ugh. Got so much room in here now since the shelf is gone. I can take all the bikes out. I got plenty of room to work, man. Yeah, get a little light on the situation. Check that sucker out. So we see it has cutouts for exhaust, and that's where I'm going to run it. I'm going to make a special exhaust manifold where I can split the pipe and run some duals. Probably just going to use the scooter aftermarket exhaust, because I actually ordered a center panel, because the center panel between here and here for a factory Harley, you know, the extended fender panel, is 15, I think it's 15.8 inches, and here I have about 16 and a half, I think. So I'm gonna have to custom it, you know, fiberglass, make it just a little wider so it'll fit flush from side to side. But it comes with the other side of the arch with a nice little dovetail, and it'll fill that panel in. So I'm not going to have to sit here and 100% fabricate some stuff, but I will have to fabricate a little bit on it, because it actually has an open spot in the middle for the factory fender to fit. So I'm gonna have to get some plastic, build a fiberglass mold to cover that center. But check that out. Okay, now guys, the touring pack is not mounted, so what I'm going to do next is, I got some metal here. I got some metal, and this bar actually fits right inside there, inside the clamps. That's how that thing clamps in. It just, you stick it in, stick the front end first, and then you bring it down and it clamps around the bar. So I'm gonna use this flat strip of metal, drill a hole in it. I'm gonna just cut enough where I need, where I can weld it here and just come out. Then the bar will go across and have another tab on that side, and that'll tie that whole thing in up top. All right, so, but the first thing I'm gonna have to do is, I gotta make a new mount, because see where the bar clicks in? I'm gonna make a mount. I need to kind of stretch this piece out a little bit, because it's not lining up where I want it. I want it to line up with the bag mount that I made here. So I'm gonna cut a chunk of that flat strip and weld it so I can use that bolt hole to mount the front. Do the same on the other side. But guys, check it out, man. I mean, the seat, it flows. Now I have a longer seat on my Mad Dog. It is the 5th generation, 4th generation. It's the newest. It was not the newest one, but the one before the last Mad Dog that they made. I don't know about the generations of those things, but yeah, that's what we're going to do, man. That longer seat will go from where this Mad Dog seat, I don't want to move it because this thing will fall, but this seat normally sits here, but the new seat comes all the way back to the round bar here. So you know, like some of Mad Dogs have that plate that covers here so you don't see all down in there, you know, kind of fills it in. Well, that seat runs from the back of the frame all the way up to here. So I'm going to widen these out so the seat can fit in there perfectly, and use that longer seat. And look at that. I mean, if I sit all the way back, I'm gonna have a nice little backrest, you know what I'm saying? Just like a Harley riding down the highway, you know, cruising. Got your little tour pack for your passenger, but I'm the only passenger on this ship, so it's going to be perfect. So all right guys, I'm going to get the whacking this thing off and widen it out, get the bar put on, and I'm going to tune you guys back in as soon as all that is done. All right gang, I got the mounts for the tour pack made. I made my own little L bracket, just welded into the bracket here, and then just made a hole so I can bolt it in just like the bags. I want everything removable. All right, I got the back side of the mount in, and you can see how these little pieces here They just lock in around the bag. And then I can lock it back in. But yeah, so basically I just took that flat steel, welded it to the frame of the bag. The bag frame mounts, the bag mounts. I welded it into the bag mounts. So yeah, this is all one good solid piece, guys. So now the only problem with that is now the bag mounts and this bar, they're all one piece now. So when I take the bags off, either I'm going to have to take them off from the rubber mounts in here, but if I take this off, all of it's going to have to come off. It's not just going to be able to come off one side unless I just take this piece off. But I should be able to get away with servicing it just by taking the bag itself off, not the mount. Alright guys, check it out. Put the plastics back on the front. Got the apes back on. I'm still needing this piece of plastic here, so if anybody has one, shoot me a message. Alright. Check it out, man. It's a bite-sized little Harley thingamabob. Chuck Bagger is what we're gonna call it. So, and the crazy thing, I'm calling it Chuck Bagger, but the only part of a Mad Dog that you can see is right there. You wouldn't know what the heck this thing is when it hits the streets. You don't even know it was a Mad Dog frame under there. But hey, that's what we're calling it. Chuck Bagger. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in with me. And I'll see you guys on part 3.